going on, Realist? It's Tre.
And it's Tasha.
Married to the Real, where we always keep it real. Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes, this video is going to be a little different. We're going to do a non-spoiler and a spoiler review. Of course, the non-spoiler is going to be the first couple minutes. When we get ready to get into the spoiler review, we'll let y'all know so you can click off if you haven't seen the movie. And this probably will be shorter than our normal. We're not going to tell y'all every single detail about the movie. We just want to talk about it. So, tonight was our second viewing of Shang-Chi. We took our kids to see it. We already saw it opening night. Well, Thursday, for us. But
opening night.
Non-spoiler review. I feel like the movie is amazing.
Beautiful.
Sensational.
Beautiful.
Glorious. Yes, like the fight scenes, everything. Like, I haven't seen many complaints online about the movie at all, other than like those typical comic book people. This don't really fit, like with a normal Marvel movie. But I'm like, just chill out.
It does. It's everything that's a Marvel origin story. It has it.
I know it's not out in a lot of places, and then I know like it's a lot of people dealing with flooding and all kind of stuff to where you may not be able to see it yet. But it is definitely worth going to see. I feel like for me, being a black person watching an Asian movie, but I love Asian culture, I feel it's synonymous with the way we felt when we watched Black Panther. Like the pride we felt watching a movie about us, where we weren't on drugs and tore down, and you know what I'm saying? Like we were smart, we had our shit together. So just seeing them like thrive like that, having somebody from their culture that they could be proud of, I feel like that should be like a good moment for them. So that's how I felt. I felt pride for them watching the movie when we watched it. So I think that it's definitely something you should see, especially just if you like any kind of Marvel movie, especially if you're a Marvel head to where like you pretty much watch everything and you like the way stuff line up or whatever.
And especially if you like the mystic side of Marvel. If you love the magical side of Marvel.
Like Doctor Strange. If you like Doctor Strange,
you're going to enjoy this.
WandaVision
if you love fighting, this had some of the best fights I've seen.
Child, that shit had me like all over the place. I was in the movie theaters like, I can't do this. Like this is too much. I don't know if all of them can really just fight like that, or if that choreography was just seamless. But that shit was
the way they were moving the camera was so beautiful.
It was
the lighting, the camera work, the fighting styles, the music.
Yeah, the different aspects of their culture. The different aspects of their culture. Like, I feel like it was a good movie to see. And I feel like it's one of the movies that actually has something for everybody. Because, like, if you like the mystical stuff, if you, like he said, if you like the fighting, like, it kind of had something for everybody. Yeah. The story itself, it had moments that were, like, sad. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, they almost got me a couple times with parts of the story. But I feel like if you like Marvel, even if you don't like Marvel, I just feel like it's a movie you could watch to watch a movie. Like, I feel like with the times we're in now, dealing with Corona and stuff, nobody's really out like they were. A lot of people are going back to theaters. It was more people out than I expected.
Yeah, today.
Like, especially today, like being Sunday, but I guess because tomorrow holiday. Thursday when we went, it wasn't like a super lot of people, but it was more than a night. Like, people actually were in there laughing, and you could hear the theater like it used to be when you go see a Marvel movie. Like, you could hear the laughs and the cheers or claps or whatever, depending on what was going on. But I just really loved this movie. Like, Simu Liu, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He did a really good job as Shang-Chi. I really can appreciate him stepping into that role and like taking it on. It really felt like he was meant for that role. All the other cast and everybody else that had parts to play, like, it was really good. So now,
that's the non-spoiler review. Right. That's it. We're done.
So you hurry up and click off the video.
Exactly.
Because we finna get into some spoilers. we about to get into.
We about to talk that talk, baby.
All right, that's time. That's long enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
So, child, when I tell y'all the movie opens,
bitch!
The movie opens with an epic fight sequence, showing y'all who, if you seen the movie because of spoilers, Wenwu, showing him back in the day, cutting up, riding in, even though he had his voice, he was like, but I don't need them though. I just want y'all to know I come in here like I'm the king. Like, he was cutting up back in the day. He was like 1,000 years old. Like, I don't even know how old he was, but
I made a reference so Tasha could understand who he was. He's like Ra's al Ghul of Marvel. Like that's who you could compare him as. Like, cause he lived, the rings gave him eternal life.
Like the pits.
Yeah, so it's like
pit, so yeah.
That's
I
what
don't
you
know if
find
it was
about
life eternal, but he had a long ass fucking life because there was a part of the movie when like that old man was talking to him. He was like something about boy or son because he was he was like I lived
10 of your lifetime.
Yeah, like
like
I think his name was Gongbo. I think that was his name, the one that was like the leader of the village or whatever. But it was just so beautiful, like the bamboo forest. I think that was the favorite part for me, like the forest that technically eat you, like the way it would open and close. It was like a maze. I thought that was so cool. I don't know who thought of that element. I don't know if it's in the comics. Like, I don't know if that's like a real thing, but that shit was amazing to me. Like seeing that when he went there for the first time, trying to find Tylo, and like whoever went with him got fucked up, but because he had the rings, he ended up making it. But
and you could tell, like, if you paid attention to the movie in the beginning when his wife caught the rings. She had the same chi as Shang, right?
Yeah, that same color. That's what I was wondering.
Like
that was their chi.
They have the same aura color. Yeah. So, but his dad had blue.
He was cold. I feel like it was like it was more so because of his demeanor. Like he was more so that cold-hearted dictator, take over the world. I want power. So I feel like that's why it was blue. But then, like, when you got to his mom, when she controlled him, you think about, like, where they come from and being, she, like Auntie Nan said, you got to know who you are. Like, I felt it was more warm. Yeah, like, I think it was because of that.
And notice how when Shang and Michelle, Tasha girl, was fighting.
Yo, like, y'all can't touch Michelle. Like
notice how his fighting changed. Like, he was fighting like he was fighting like his dad, but then she was like, and then, like, it was like a beautiful dance. Yeah. Like, it was like, man, this shit is just a beautiful
dance. Was beautiful to me when they did that. Like, when they had the first part when Wenwu and Shang's mom, like, met for the first time and they were fighting, but she was kind of, like, dragging him around, but it looked like a dance. That shit is so beautiful to me. And then they did it 2 more times. Because Nan did it when she was teaching Shang. And then when he fought his dad, it's like he did it to him again, like, towards the end. I just thought that shit, and I know he saw that in his son because the way he looked up at him, he looked so serene while he was fighting him. Like nothing else was like it was like he was almost at peace while he was fighting his dad. But in the long run, he still couldn't kill him though. Like he said he was gonna do that. Let's talk about the villain for a moment.
Yes,
Tre got on my nerves in the movie tonight, bro. I get it though, but it was just like
this is the thing that just got me, bro. He went from evil to bad.
That man met that lady.
It changed his life. And I could understand that. It's like when you get older, you can understand villains. When you're young, you don't understand villains. I can understand them. Like I was telling y'all with Stargirl earlier this week when Shade was like, oh, there's a difference between bad and evil. Mm-hmm. Initially, he was evil. Yeah. Then he just was bad. But his evil past caught up to him. Yeah. In which
he wasn't even bad at a point. Like it was just, it went away. Then it's like his wife died.
Yeah.
And it's like he was misguided, more so to speak, because he really thought, like, I feel like when you love somebody that much, like think about the kind of life he led. He had to love that woman some kind of way to leave all that shit behind. Have kids, settle down, let her come up in his house and change shit around. Like, you gotta love somebody to let them come and do that. And then she was just taken from him just so quick. Like, you out the house one day getting groceries.
She didn't grow old.
Right. She just got, somebody came because of some shit that you done did back in the day, looking for your ass. And she took their ass out most of them, though. She did that. I know she messed up like 10, 15 dudes, but...
Man, I love when, I don't know what that shit doing, what they do, their hands like this. But
I told him that's Michelle. Now I could be wrong. Y'all can forgive me. But to me, the queen of kung fu is Michelle. Because Memoirs of a Geisha, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. When I watch shit like that, Danielle put me on some kung fu. Danielle and Canty back in the day. That's who I saw. And she used to be getting it then. And when I seen her on Gunpowder Milkshake, I'm like, we got 2 aunties in the Marvel Universe, y'all. We got Hey Auntie Angela Bassett. We got Auntie Nun. All they need to bring is Carla. They need to bring my girl Carla to the MCU. And don't let them bring Cersei. Don't let them bring Lena too. We gonna have all the aunties.
That shit, bro. Like,
it was so beautiful though. That
fights
movie
were just well choreographed, bro. They were. And this, like, I know people are still trying to figure out what time they're in, because me and Tasha were going back and forth. I was like, Shang has to be like 25.
Somewhere in there.
Like, he has to be like 25. And here's why I say that. Because this is at least 2023.
Yeah.
We know, because when he's walking into the house with Katie, where Katie lived, you can see post-blip anxiety right there. It's a sign. Yeah, it's like so this is after the snap for sure. Well, you know that Trey,
I think they mentioned that anyway though in some point of the movie. They said.
Well, we know that Trey because of the post-credit scene. Sure, but we still don't know exactly how much longer after Endgame it is. Nobody knows that because they were not precise on the time. You knew 1,000 years in the past, then you knew 1996. All we know is after 2023. Nobody is gonna sit here and say they know exactly when because you don't know.
I think he's 24 to 25 though, because I remember he was 14 when he left home, and then when he came back, his dad said, "I let you live your life for 10 years. I let y'all live your life for 10 years." So, well, him, because the sister was younger at the time, but like, so he had to be like 24, 25, and then she's 4 years younger than him, so she 20, 21ish or whatever. I mean, they may not look it. I feel like they could be older, but I get it for like whatever's going on. But that shit right there, like I said, they opened with a fight. Then a few minutes later, you get another fight.
Right after that, you get another fight. I was like, bro, it was fight after fight after fight.
But like, I can't even pick a favorite fight though, because the bus fight was crazy as hell. The fight when they was on that little shit on the side of the fight club was crazy as hell. The end fight was crazy as hell because you got bitches soul getting sucked up their body. I'm just like, all that shit was ignorant.
And for y'all that's been wondering, the Dweller in the Darkness is Nightmare's cousin. That's Nightmare's cousin.
Or they come from the same place at least.
So that when we're getting there,
I think in the comics he looked more like a man with an octopus-like face. I don't think it looked like the thing they made in the movie, but I think they did.
I don't even think that was. I don't know if that was it or not. Like because they didn't say. I don't think they said.
Now, like I asked Trey, I wonder, like when they had Auntie Nun going over the story of what happened, and she had said they had cities that were more like advanced than anything he's ever seen in his universe. I wonder if they'll ever like if you get like a Shang-Chi too. I wonder if they'll ever dip into that. Like if you'll see more of that area.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Can we talk about Trevor? What is his name? Trevor Slattery or whatever. Child, this man up in this. I don't know how long he had him. He in there with
2013.
I don't know because remember I told you they did that Disney one shot thing. I don't know what year that was because like he was in jail, like he said in the show. He was in jail and then his dad broke him out. But yeah, that shit was wild as fuck. I didn't expect him to have as much of a presence as he did, but he did. And
I feel like the little thing that he had, the little majestic creature, whatever the little creature was. Yeah, I feel like that's going to evolve into something else. Like that's going to be something. That in the movie. That's what I feel. I don't know because I don't know much about Shang-Chi. Like
I don't know either because he wasn't.
All I know is he fought Captain America. He's fought Wolverine. He's helped Spider-Man develop the way of the spider, a spider martial arts where when he loses spider sense. Like and I heard that what's the boy name that played him? How you pronounce his name?
Simu Liu.
He wants to do that in the MCU with Tom Holland. So I was like, that's dope.
I'm ready to see him in whatever else goes.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm ready to see him train up some people. Like shit. Like teach Spider-Man some shit. I'm with it.
I love his sister too. Like that little ending scene was ominous because like you don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah. When they showed the sister in that final scene at the end, hopefully y'all stayed for both because there were two. But like yeah, when they showed the sister at the end, like the 10 rings were returned because they didn't say Shang-Chi will return. They said the 10 rings will return. So if that's his sister, I'm wondering if she rebranded it to be better to help her brother, or is she gonna do her own thing? Like I'm wondering what's gonna happen with that.
Funny thing. Post-credit scene with Bruce and Captain Marvel and Wong.
That's what made him ask what year it was too, cause her hair
was long as fuck, and Bruce is not. I'm like, what year is this?
They made him look older, and then he wasn't in Hulk form anymore. His arm was still messed up, but
it looks like it's healing, but it's still like in the sling.
So that's the thing too. Like it made it seem like I don't know.
Yeah, but my thing also, the beacon. I was thinking that it's probably from the Eternals. Maybe they're gonna try to connect it with the Eternals.
Yeah, because they said it was old. That's what I was thinking
Like,
too.
you know
Because
what I'm
I was
saying?
on some shit like, what if when he got it because his aura was good and it set off a beacon? What if what if that wakes up the Eternals and that's how you get their movie? Like, what if because they're there but they don't have, some of them don't have their memories or whatever, you know, and all that. So I'm like, what if that's something he found that was like ancient that came with them or something like that?
Yeah,
So,
and like, you never know. Like, you know, Marvel movies are connected. They always give you something to tease the next thing or something that's coming soon.
Because the beacon situation gotta be recent because his daddy has had them for 1,000 years. So how you only felt them when he used them?
When he used them.
So
that's because his mom never put them on.
No, she just flipped
like
them a different
her.
color.
She never used her chi with him. Shang put them on. So when he used them, that's what activated him. So it's something in his chi that's activated. So maybe they're gonna say he's related to Eternal, or maybe his chi activated the rings in a certain way that I don't know.
Maybe it may be somebody good that had to put them on, you know, like and
Yeah.
sign them for whatever to happen because they probably meant to be used for good. And when you think about the technology in the Eternals trailer, like the way they ship made and the way certain stuff look, and you actually look like when they had the like holographic picture of the rings, it looked like it could be something like that. So who knows? And that would tie his movie into their movie. That would tie shit together. So that's why I'm just like, I feel like they're doing a good job with this phase because I didn't think it was no life left after we had Infinity War and Endgame. I looked at Tre dead in his face. What they gonna do? I was like, what they gonna do? What they gonna do? That's what I was like.
I want to see Squirrel
That's
Girl.
what I used to say. I would be like, who watching Squirrel Girl? What they doing? And then they done hit me in the face with all these shows, these movies. I'm just like,
Abomination. Man. I know y'all want me to talk about Abomination. Listen, it's good that he came back to reprise that role as Abomination, but Abomination has evolved. He's changed.
And then I noticed watching it the second time that when Wong was taking him with him, it looks like it was a cage with like lasers in the front. Like, is that where they hold him? And if so, I thought, what his name is, Ross? I thought he had Abomination. So like, how does that shit all tie in together? Because on the shows you got that little lady running around recruiting everybody. So
what somebody said, right? And it was real funny because I actually believe it now. It was an article or something that said Wong is the new Coulson. But I was like, I don't want him to be the new Coulson because in the movies Coulson died.
Yeah. He do need his own show though, The Adventures of Wong. Child, they had me dying laughing when he went to karaoke with their ass.
That shit it was a fun movie. I enjoyed the fight.
I hope it makes more than what they expected. Like, I know we in a difficult time right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but I feel like they deserve it all. Like, I can't even be mad at anything with the movie. Like, it was really good. Coming from a person especially that just loves Asian culture anyway. Can we talk about how they let them speak Mandarin in the movie though? And they had the subtitles. When that shit came on, like, I had got chills. I was like, I'm so glad they let them do that. Because Americans need to stop being lazy. When you're watching something based on somebody else, like, respect them people culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, but y'all expect foreigners y'all always like speak English. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, bitch. Like, watch this shit. You can read. If you can't, you don't need to be at the movies anyway. You need to sit down somewhere with a book. And then they had the subtitles up there. So I can appreciate that they had a lot of Mandarin in the movie back and forth. So that was cool.
That was nice. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice.
Bruh, I don't know who that was in that painted mask. They used to.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna show that.
They used to beat on Sean when he was little. Child, he got that soul snatcher right. He was the first one. It was so funny because Razor Fist was like, "You crazy? We ain't working together." They flip over here. That man got his soul. Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, we need to work." That shit was so funny. And then for them to pull up Intalo in his car though with that graffiti on it, I was so done. I was like, bro, I can't with this shit. It was so good though for so many different.
I'm ready for the next Shang-Chi movie.
Like seeing my kids like just stop eating while we at the movies to watch them fight scenes, just sitting there glaring at the screen like
we got
like
teenagers. Y'all know teenagers eat, so I'm like,
they was just shook. They was like, what? Yeah. So
the fights were good.
It was. So I appreciate the movie. Like, I'm glad that somebody else's culture got their movie and they get to come up. Because I didn't know who he was. I knew when they listed, they was like, at first they had it listed like, I think Shang-Chi, like the father of Kung Fu, before they said the Legend of the Ten Rings. Like when they first had that first thing about what was coming out, like they called him the father of Kung Fu. So I was like, shit, I might, I'm gonna mess with that because it's Kung Fu. And then now we get the Mandarin twist and the Ten Rings and all that.
And I like how they did in the trailer. Like, go back and watch the trailer. Like I told y'all, right? Go back and watch the trailer. And you'll see a scene where he was looking at the monitors, right? He was looking at the monitors that he saw in the movie. You watch that scene.
The ones from the Fight Club? Or something?
I don't know. I think he was at his house. I can't remember. Okay. I think he was at his house.
You talking about the dad?
Yeah, the dad.
Okay, yeah.
I was talking about that. So you'll see all the screens up there. If you go back and watch the trailer, you'll see the Iron Man scene up there instead of all that. They changed all those things. I told y'all, you gotta pay attention. Marvel don't give you shit. The shit you think you getting, you not getting. They don't spoil a lot of shit. They'll give you a scene and completely change that fucking scene. That's what I love about them. I be like, bro, it had a scene of Tony Stark from Iron Man 1. You could see it because they had the little knapsack on. You just got to really pay attention. It's on that screen in the trailer. But if you watch the movie, that scene is nowhere in the movie. And that's what I love about Marvel. They give you something and they won't give you anything. So when I say that Spider-Man trailer is fucking different, you better believe the movie gonna be totally different. You all right?
I feel like I don't like rating movies normally. I don't really watch the trailer. I feel like I can rate this movie like a hard 9+. Because I feel like the first time I watched it, I feel like everything was just so perfect. And then watching it the second time, I still feel like everything was perfect. But at the second viewing, because you know what's going to happen, you can kind of nitpick like the slow moment in the movie, I guess you could say. But I still give it a hard 9+, like 9.5. You know what I'm saying? And then to the people that were like, I had a conversation with OD about this too. The people that were complaining about the shoes he had on when he was fighting, I was like, y'all gotta realize when he went there, his mom only left him and his sister like the top part of his outfit. The pants and shoes he had on were the same shoes and pants he had on when he arrived. It's not like they had a whole outfit for him. So yes, he was whooping ass, doing kung fu with whatever kind of Nikes or whatever the fuck he had on. But that's because like you can't prepare for when somebody gonna pop up. Like yeah, she had that stuff made with the dragon scales, but it was only the tops. The sister still had her pants and shoes on. He still had his same pants and shoes on from when they came. I want to make sure that's not a misconception for some people. The only thing he got was the top part of his suit. Now maybe later he may have like a full, like blown costume, but for that moment and because things happened in those 3 days, that's all they had. That's all they had.
Yeah.
So
y'all act like characters
when I watched it again, I had to realize like, okay, he still got on the same jeans, even the ones he had on like when he fought his sister in that ring, like them black jeans. That's the same thing he had on, like the same clothes or whatever. They hadn't changed at all.
Like, y'all gotta understand, like Marvel characters upgrade over time. Like y'all
people feel like because of the budget, like oh why they ain't do this? Because there's like the dad, like when he pulled up, he had them sandals on too. Because I ain't know that till like when they pulled up at the Fight Club and he was like yanking him and he had the sandals on. My boy said he need them orthopedics on. Like he can't be out here doing this for 1,000 years. He gotta have the sandals on. Gotta be comfortable.
And look, that's gonna be our review. We'll talk about it more another time. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some more. Maybe
the real talk. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to.
But
I enjoyed the movie. I did. Too. I can't wait to see Eternals. What's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm ready to see Eternals. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to see that.
I want to see how this can tie into that. Maybe the rings are tied into the Eternals. You never know. Marvel does a very good job of connecting all
these
they
was like flowing with the leaves and the wind and shit, and they was doing all that shit. I was like, bitch.
And that's the funny thing. Like they'll connect things from now to the past that all the way come back to the present, and you'll be like, oh shit. So that's how they work.
Yeah, because look how when Iron Man 3 came out and they connected those dudes still from
2013.
That.
That's why I say he probably got caught in 2013. He probably been there 10 years.
Because I don't know what year it was when they broke him out of jail. It looked more up to date though, but I don't know. Y'all have to watch that little. They have a one shot on Disney Plus with the Mandarin on it, but it's the Mandarin from Iron Man. You can see him like in jail.
No, that fits perfectly.
And then
he broke him out 2013 because Shang wasn't there, so he wouldn't know him. He wouldn't know him, so that would be perfect timing. He's been gone for 10 years. He broke him out 10 years. Boom. I'm just guessing though. That's just me guessing. I could be wrong.
I see. You just guessing.
I could be wrong. But look, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for the support. Be sure to hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Turn on your post notifications. Flip it to all. It's Tre.
And it's Tasha.
Real.
You already watched, so you might as well subscribe, please.